Hey guys, Julian here, and today, as you can see, I've got Arturia's new synth, Pigments 2, in front of me. This is a new synth, a new update to the original Pigments synth, and as you can see, we've got this here, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can do really cool granular synthesis using this synth. So, this is something new with this version of Pigments. It always had a sampler in it, I believe, but now there is a new granular synthesis engine that you can use using the sample engine to get some really interesting and creative sounds. And today I'm going to be showing you how you can take it and sometimes a very simple and basic sound and make it into something really cool and different and creative that can really bring a lot of life to your tracks. So what we have here is this is the default template preset on Pigments. And what I have here, you can see it starts out with just engine 1 is on, and we have it on this wavetable setting. I'm going to turn off the filter here. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this to the sample engine. So now you can see it brings up this window, and we have a sample. So this is one of the cool things with Pigments is, again, it's not just like a standard synth where you're using saw waves and square waves, and it's not just a standard wavetable synth, but you can also do some cool sampling stuff with it and kind of work with samples in a more creative and interesting way. So what we're going to do here is you can see you can just flip through, and there's a ton of different samples available just by default. You can also import samples. So if you click on this thing here, or this thing, excuse me, you can see you can bring up your own folder. So if you have like a folder, like let's do one of my tutorial folders. Let's use this one. Now we can have that in there and use all the samples from that folder. So it allows you to bring in your own samples as well. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to start with a bell sound. Let's just use... Alright, let's use this marimba. And we'll get the amp envelope. My computer didn't like that one. Cool, so we've got a marimba here, and basically what this is right now is just a standard sampler. When we play a sample, you can see it plays from the start to the finish, left to right. So this is what a standard sampler does. What granular synthesis is playing back a sample, but instead of just playing it back from left to right like this, we're playing it back from all different parts of the sample. So if I turn on this little granular thing down here, you can see. See how the white line is now moving really rapidly? This is what granular synthesis is. And as you can hear, it allows you to make really interesting and creative sounds using just simple sounds like this. And we can take this sample over here and drag it over. We can play with these different settings like this, which you can hear it can create kind of like some interesting stuff. You can see that density is basically just sort of like the length. We can make it go in reverse using this direction. We can have each grain be a different pitch if we wanted to. We can have each grain have a different starting place as well. Now you can see the line's moving around to a lot of different places, not just like one short little area. We can change the shape as well. So you can hear this gets some really cool sounds like. Alright, there we go. So you can see there's a lot to be done with this. And it's a really creative way to make interesting sounds because, again, like, if we just turn this off, this is literally just a marimba sound. It's a very basic sort of bell type of sound, but as soon as you turn on that granular engine and start playing around, you can hear it. You can create some really interesting stuff. So maybe let's try a different sound here. Let's try like a percussion sound. Like, let's put a drum loop through here. And maybe we'll slow down. And you can see this is a really cool way to make like an interesting texture, you know? Like a lot of times I'll put like some noise in the background of my tracks. You guys have seen me do that. But you could even just have this playing in the background. And then you get this crazy kind of like cool Foley sound. That you can use to make your tracks have some very interesting sort of character. Or even, you know, maybe if you're working on sound design or like special effects for like a movie or something like that. I just saw Star Wars, so that's all that's on my mind right now. You know, this could be some really interesting Foley. Maybe let's try another sound. Let's go into this Granular friendly folder and see what this comes up with. We could try like one of these formant types of sounds. Here, I'll play it without the Granular. So this is a cool sound because it has like that morphing texture. And now this creates a really cool chord because I'm playing 3 different notes here. I'm playing G, G sharp, and C. And when you put those together, you can hear they're all 3 playing at different places on this actual sample. So you're getting a very alive and interesting sounding type of sound. You know, it's not just like that same old, like, kind of everything playing at the same place, sort of boring sampler feel. But this way, it's a lot more interesting, it's got a lot more texture to it, and it's a lot more creative. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this one, guys. I just wanted to show you what kind of really cool stuff you can do using the Granular Synthesis engine on Pigments 2, because I think it's really interesting. I think it's very in-depth. It gives you a lot of control, and you can just really make some creative sounds, you know? You start putting this into, like, some reverb or something. And as you can hear, you can make some really interesting and creative kind of pads and just all different types of sounds, you know, to really make something new and fresh and not just have like the same sort of simple sounds like just a saw wave and a square wave that we often become tired of working with, you know. This is going to give you some new inspiration and really make you feel inspired to work on something creative and new and not just kind of get bored when you open up that same exact synth doing the same thing that every other synth is doing. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I want to say a big shout out to the good people at Arturia for sending over Pigments 2 to work with. I'm really enjoying the synth. There's some really, like you've seen in this video, cool stuff in here that I really love working with. And yeah, as always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. You can check out Pigments 2 right at the top of the description. And also, if you guys want to support me, definitely check out my sample packs and my Patreon and all that stuff in the description. It's a great way to support me. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.